Okay, so our third case study for the Atlas Annuity strategy is going to be Tom and Sarah, ages 71 and 67. They operate a business and have multiple rental properties. Now, they want to preserve as much cash as possible for their beneficiaries, but that's really not the main purpose for the money because of the business and the properties they own. So they'll be leaving those behind too. But they do have a concern about market volatility and sequence of returns risk. Now, Tom's Social Security is a little over 43,000. Sarah's a little over 21. The current portfolio is valued at just under 1.6 million and is in a 50-50 split between stocks and bonds. Now, they're looking for an extra $42,000 a year as needed, or what is an overall 2.65% withdrawal rate. Now, looking at the current asset allocations returns of the 2.89%, according to Dalbar, they should be totally fine keeping their money diversified between stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. But since I taught them Wall Street math, they now understand that's not really how the real world operates. So the money would take them all the way to Sarah's age 99, but that's cutting a little close for them. They don't really like that scenario. They could also go ahead and just leave it in all equities in the S&P 500. Again, looking at a sequence return scenario, that money unfortunately would actually run out a couple years even faster. Now again, it's getting them to a very late age, but why even roll the dice on this kind of stuff? So here's what we looked at originally. What we can do is the Atlas Annuity strategy, do it yourself. So the DIY. They can keep doing what they're doing and be totally fine, okay, because their withdrawal rate is so low. But if the goal is preservation, then the best way to do that is to eliminate losses and fees. So the plan is to de-risk the money currently invested in bonds and put 50% of that into a fixed indexed annuity without an income rider, which allows for the flexibility to withdraw as needed. So what we would do is take $793,000 and put that into an indexed annuity. And what I did was I recommended one of the top performing annuities, but I used the returns on the 10 worst years. So using the DIY Atlas strategy, which protects 50% of their portfolio from market risk and allows them to keep 50% in all equities, Tom and Sarah can withdraw $42,000 every year with a 3% increase for inflation. And what they will do is withdraw from the annuity when the market is down and withdraw from the market only when there is a positive growth year. So if we look here, again, here's S&P starting in 2000. What they would do is withdraw from the annuity those first 3 years to not make this situation even worse. Then what happens is the market has an up year, we use that money. And the market goes straight up for a while, so we're using that. And then 2008 hits. So we would use the annuity money that whole time. Now look what's happening. The market's losing money, but the annuity is never going to go below zero. Now these first couple years, those aren't great returns, okay? Then we have a couple really good years, and then we have a 0 year in there too. So again, this isn't overly dramatic. Again, I use the 10 worst years of one of the top performing annuities. But even with this, look at that, at age 100. Actually, that would be down here. So almost 2.2 million here. I'm sorry, 2.178. Now that's a huge difference from the other two scenarios we just looked at. Let's pull it up on Excel here so we can look at it right next to each other. So again, there's all their assets in the S&P 500. There's all their assets in a diversified portfolio, and then split between the two. 10 worst years in an annuity and sequence of returns, really bad years in the S&P 500. We come down to year 10. Let's see where we're at. So if they were just doing an all equities in the 10th year of this plan, they would still have been getting all of their income that they wanted, and that income is including their Social Security, plus the $42,000 withdrawal, and an increase for inflation. Their S&P balance, or their all equities balance, would be a little over $738,000. A diversified portfolio, because it's obviously a lot more stable, would be about $1.45 million. And then the Atlas annuity plan total, they would be at about $1.46 million. So kind of neck and neck with the diversified portfolio. But we'll see as time goes on here, because we're mitigating losses out of this scenario, we come down to year 20, Sarah's age 87. Now we're really starting to see some gaps. The all equities would have rebounded up to a little over $1 million. Diversified portfolio, still very stable, $1.077 million. Okay? But look at the Atlas annuity strategy here. Again, because we're mitigating losses out of the annuity, and we're using that do-it-yourself plan where in the down years of the market, we're withdrawing from the annuity. In the up years of the market, we're withdrawing from the equities. Look at that. Just in 20 years, all equities balance just over $1 million. Diversified portfolio, just over $1 million. Atlas annuity strategy, almost $2 million. That's almost double what the other strategies would provide. And we can take it all the way out to Sarah's age 100 here. And again, they're totally out of money in the other two scenarios, but have over $2 million using the annuities. Again, this all comes down to mitigating losses. And when you can do that, you're going to come ahead. You're going to come out ahead. There's just no question about it. However, there are some key points to this strategy. I would not recommend this strategy if you need more than a 3% payout rate. Okay? I would not use this strategy if you need more than 3% out of your overall investable assets. It's not going to work. But when you take losses out of the equation for a portion of the money, you mitigate having to use your growth seed when the market is down. And again, after year 20, you're over $1 million ahead of the standard diversified portfolio that every guy out there with a CFP behind their name will recommend. And again, at Atlas, we want to look at the worst possible scenario. So what does the annuity absolutely have to do to make this work? Again, if they were to withdraw everything out the way we did it, withdraw from the annuity in the market down years and then vice versa, to make sure this plan would work all the way to age Sarah's 100, to absolutely make this work, the annuity would have to return 2.7% per year. Now, we can accomplish that with a multi-year guaranteed annuity. Okay, we can guarantee those rates there, as at the time of this recording anyway, we can. And actually, rates are at an all-time low right now when it comes to the fixed interest annuities. But the FIA will probably work in your favor. And again, this is a flexible strategy. This isn't we started and then we never change it. If we got to adjust something down the road, we can do that with this strategy. That's one of the great things about it. So let's just do a quick recap of Tom and Sarah's Atlas annuity strategy. We're going to de-risk bond money with a fixed indexed annuity. No income rider, which allows for the withdrawal flexibility. We're protecting 50% of their portfolio while having an opportunity for higher gains than bonds. Okay, the annuity most likely is going to outperform bonds in this day and age. And we're using the other 50% in all equities, which traditionally is going to get you higher returns. No fees whatsoever, whether in management fees or in the annuity. And just say an average management fee between the guy you're paying and the fee inside the fund that he's putting your money into, we're going to say that's 1.5%. On that 50% of their portfolio that we put in, we save them over $11,000 in fees just in the first year. And again, using the 10 worst years in the annuity, they still came out with over $2 million at age 100. Now, this is a brilliant strategy if you qualify for it. And I wish I could take credit for this, but I learned this from my friend Brian Anderson, who owns Annuity Straight Talk in Montana. And I'd recommend, if you're in the Northwest and you're looking for someone in that area, I would recommend that you check him out. He's a super, super smart guy. So that's case study number 3 here. Stand by for the next video.